cats, especially cats and dogs, are
Yes.
in the poorer areas,
Yes.
right? So what about how much does this cost, and where can they avail of it? Because many people probably want to do it, but then they don't know where to go.
Okay. We charge 500 for a male cat. That's what we call neuter, or kapon is the generic Tagalog term.
Yes.
For that, and 700 for a female. And our clinic is located at 2365 Singalong
Okay.
in Malate. And our phone numbers are 353-3381.
Okay.
Okay. And we do this surgery 3 times a week. They can call the clinic to schedule anytime. And it's really beneficial for your pets and the pets around, the animals around your area. We have the program called the TNR, the Trap, Neuter, and Return, where like in a barangay or an existing colony of cats, we catch these cats, we spay and neuter them, and we return them back to the existing area because we do need cats. We can't eliminate them completely.
Because
we
of
need
the
them
rat.
because of the rats. They
Yes.
take care of the rodent population.
Right,
so
right.
a lot of times people are like out of sight, out of mind, and that's it. You get rid of the problem, but that's not true. You will be overwhelmed with rats, snakes, and all sorts of other rodents. I guarantee you would want around.
And the sewer system in our country is just amazing. I mean, this is just
With the-
overrun
yes.
with. Actually, if we could control the rodent population like we can the dog and cat population, I think our societies would probably be a better place to
So
live in.
actually,
Right?
the statement that we actually talk about is cats or rats.
Cats or rats.
Is that what you want? What's your choice, cats or rats?
Definitely cats.
Yeah.
But then, of course, we also need to. That's a good point because we also need to take care of nutritional and medical requirements. You know, because they do live a long time. Understand, cats are almost invincible, right? If you take good care of them, unlike dogs. After a certain age, I remember my old champions, after a while, they lose their teeth. You need to give them special diets, and they don't move around. They're not as nimble anymore. But I think cats, up to their old age, do maintain some sort of quality of life. In cats, it's more over a long period of time, right?
They're very independent creatures.
Yeah, actually, cats who live in homes that are basically pets. They live for like 20. Some live 20 years.
Yeah. Indoor cats live longer than outdoor cats.
And cats live longer than dogs. Is that safe to say?
Basically the same.
It's the same if it's community.
15 years.
Yeah.
But that's if you take good care of the dog.
Yes, sir.
A lot of dogs here, they live what, 8 years, 10 years, that's it. Yeah.
Especially with people who breed unscrupulously and they have problems in the genetic makeup. They lose their eyesight very early. There are a lot hip dysplasia. It's a lot of things. So spaying and neutering is actually a good solution because even for dogs that you don't want to, let's say, interbreed with each other and have mixed breeds, you can actually solve this problem for only 500 and 700 pesos. I mean, you have peace of mind.
It's the most humane way of controlling the population. It's very easy to say, let's get rid of the cats, but in which manner? This is the most humane way that we control the population and we help the animals. See, ours is for helping the animals, not to eliminate or get rid of the animals.
Okay. But basically in the Philippines, and this is something that I want to bring up because many countries outside, you know, when you try to even just purchase, let's say, a dog or a cat, an import, many people will not sell to the Philippines because we have a reputation for eating dogs.
Cruelty.
Yes, and cruelty. Is this true? Is, let's say, dogs butchered for the table? Does this still happen? I mean, it's okay to bring it out because if this is sad reality, then it is.
It is the sad reality, but we're also very fortunate that there is a law now, the Republic Act 8485, and it's punishable by law. So we are hoping that more people get aware of this law and help, you know, by promoting, by if you see an act of butchering, like somebody butchering a dog, they should report it to prevent and to avoid more butchering of animals.
Right. And is this law actually helping right now?
Oh yes, it
is. Okay.
But I think it needs to be disseminated properly.
Information dissemination once
Information has to be given, so we are really grateful, thankful that, you know, we are able to speak out about the law because it really is quite important for everyone to know about this.
Okay.
But thing is, a lot of people, if you go to, I'm sorry to say, but squatters area, they know that it's illegal to slaughter a dog for dog meat, but they still do it.
In the first place, they feel bad, right? They feel bad about it, so they know it's really not right.
But it's just because of the situation calls for it, let's say out
Well,
of desperation too?
I don't think so. Normally, a dog is butchered as pulutan.
For drinking,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
those, oh, that's
So you
very
can't
sad.
say it's a necessity to kill a dog for meat because they don't eat it for
As a
they don't.
staple,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not. They only slaughter them for fun, for
Dogs
with
are not-
alcohol.
Dogs
So
are not meant to be eaten. They are companion animals.
That's very true.
They're not
Very
table
true.
food. These are like we call them man's best friend. So we should take care of them. They give back so much love to us, and it's our responsibility to care for them, being the highest forms of life in this planet. I guess we should be responsible and compassionate to the lesser forms of life.
And is there any, for any one of you, can you tell us about, and our televiewers of course, about any experience that you might have had with your work in Cara, let's say, in any particular memorable one at all that you would like to share?
Actually, each moment
Yes.
we rescue is different. It's a, we cry, we laugh, we share happiness and sadness. And like this morning, because I rescued from the basura.
This is just
Yes.
this morning rescue.
No. I mean, this has been rescued ever since her eyes were closed. There were 4 of them in Mandaluyong area, and so I got them rescued them under the bushes. They were inside a box, so clearly, someone put them there.
So it was an intention
Yes.
of somebody to get rid of them and let them go in a place where they cannot come back to where they were originally
That's right.
born.
And obviously they were newborns. So I picked them up and then, I just welcomed them into my heart and into my home. But of course I feel bad about, what about the others that
Yeah.
are being...
These are lucky, but what about the
Yeah.
ones that are
Exactly.
not
Yeah,
very
that's why
lucky?
spay neuter is very
Yeah.
important.
Spay neuter,
Very
yeah.
important to control or to prevent this kind of situation from happening.
So that's why I always tell
Cycle.
kids, I would like to inspire kids as well. I do children's parties on weekends, and I do that, and as well as the fees for that I donate to charity
Okay, yes.
for
yes.
for the animals in need and rescue. And the lesson that I give to kids is, no matter how small you are, you can do great big
That's
things.
true. That's very true. But can you tell us a little bit, while we still have time, about the procedure of spaying and neutering? Like, for people who don't know, how long is the operation? What are the preparations needed? I mean, does the dog or cat have to be a certain age to be able to perform, or that it's safe for them? Because I'm sure they will have to go through some sort of anesthetic procedure.
Yes,
Of course, it's
Fiona
very
would know
painful.
about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, for cats, you can spay them between 6 months.
Okay.
For the female cats, the male cats between 6 to 10 months old, and both dogs and both dogs and cats, they are always under general anesthesia, and we use the best possible medication, sutures, to ensure that these cats, because most of them will be returned back to their colonies, so we make sure that they're very healthy when they go back there, so we don't scrimp in medication or in
Okay.
sutures. So we use the best. And yes, they have to be fasted.
Fasted. That's a good point. So I guess for pet owners, you have to fast. You cannot bring them in on a full stomach. It's not possible.
9 hours, right?
10 hours
10
before
hours.
surgery.
10
So,
hours,
yes,
okay.
The reason behind that?
Is, I guess no, because under anesthesia they might throw up.
They
throw up
and then they
and
can
will
die.
choke.
They
will
can
choke
die.
on
When
their-
they
yes,
choke
they
on
It's
their
a
choke on
health
their-
hazard.
Yes.
It's like,
health
I think
concern.
it's just like in humans as well. You
Yeah.
cannot. So it's the same philosophy
Yes.
behind that. So you have to fast them, and they have to be healthy. Of course, you can't bring a sick cat that has a cold or
Like that,
fever,
yes.
so it has to be healthy, and not in heat, because it can get bloody. In heat is when they're in the cycle, when you hear them crying all the time,
Yeah, I
or
know,
when you hear the cat cries, or when you see dogs going sniffing in the air looking for females.
Not
and,
wanting to eat there. Somebody's
yes,
on
they're
heat.
in heat cycle. So it would be better when they're after that to have them spayed and neutered.
Okay, and recovery. What about recovery?
Well, they bring them to our clinic before the time of surgery, and they can bring them back the same day.
So it's like basically an outpatient
Yeah, an
thing.
outpatient
They don't
thing.
have to stay overnight or
No.
okay. And you also advise, like let's say, potential owners on how to care for their pet after the
Yes, we give them
procedure has done.
post-op care.
Okay.
How to take care of the cats after they've been through spay and neuter. And it's basically very simple and yet a very beneficial surgery for both cats and dogs.
Okay. So at this point, would you like to any parting words where they can get in touch with you? Any messages to our public, just to make sure that we promote responsible pet ownership?
Yeah. Aside from spay neuter, I'd also like to promote adoptions.
Okay.
Please don't go out and buy a pet. There are too many unwanted animals already on the streets, in the shelters. Please adopt a pet from any of your local shelters and spay and neuter your animals, and let's all be responsible pet owners. If you cannot take care of a dog or a cat for 15 years, please don't take in any
Yes.
animal.
And Rebecca, is there anything else that you would like to add?
That's it. We can stop the cycle of abused, tortured animals by spaying and neutering. So number one, a lot of people will say it's a pity for the dog or the cat to go through an operation, but it's more pitiful if the dog or a cat is thrown away or its babies are thrown away.
Yes.
So think about spay and neuter. Another thing is, do not throw your pets like it has no feelings, no mind. They're very sensitive, they're very intelligent. They feel, even before you say anything, they know how you feel.
True. Yes.
So, you know, and don't throw your pets just because they're sick. Again, we go back to, if you cannot afford it, do not get a pet.
Yes, it's just like having a family. If
Yes,
you cannot
it's-
afford this lifelong commitment, lifetime commitment, forget it.
Yeah,
Be
get it,
single.
yes.
Okay.
So let me just add, if you cage your dog or a cat for more than 4 hours a day without letting it out, that's animal abuse.
Okay.
If you tie it up 24 hours a day, that's animal abuse. Even if you give it water and food, that's still considered animal abuse. They need room, they need exercise, you know, things like that.
And their minds also
Yeah.
need to be stimulated.
Yeah,
right?
they need the love and the care and all that stuff, not only food and water.
Just very briefly, if I may add, if you do see animal abuse or cruelty of any kind, please don't close your eyes and turn the other way. Please report it. The only way to stop it is if we put our foot down and stop this and report it. Don't just say, oh, kawawa, oh, look at the animal, or call any animal welfare organization. We need your help. Nothing can happen if you don't file a case against these people or take action. So please take action when you see any form of abuse or cruelty to any animal.
Yes, and with that in light, I would like to highlight as well that the purity of a person's heart can quickly be measured by how one regards animals.
True.
And so,
Very true.
you know, please be kind, respect each other, and love life.
Yes, in all shapes and forms. Thank you very much, Miss Vimla Mansukani, of course, Miss Rebecca Tieng, and Carla Cangleon of CARA, Compassion and Responsibility for Animals, and you can reach them at www.carafil.org. So thanks, guys, and it's wonderful to have you. And this season and for the rest of the year, let's take care of our pets, and if we can't, don't have one. So I hope you had a nice evening. Thank you very much to Total Skincare, and of course to GNN staff and crew. Saying goodbye for now. See you again next week. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Feel the love this Christmas. Walk amidst a kaleidoscope of lights, a chorale of holiday cheers, and aroma-filled Christmas air. find out where my holiday spirit brought me in an extraordinary search for the Metro's best destination in this Yuletide season. Have a Merry Christmas here on News Sports.
When cold winds start to blow and bright lights fill the metro, it's definitely a sign that Christmas is just around the corner. And what is the first thing that comes to mind? Christmas decorations and gifts, of course. Watch out as we scout for the best and the latest trends in Christmas decors and gift items only on your gateway to the latest and up-to-date reports on News Force. I'm Maan Maligali.
And I'm Kat Domingo.
Giving you today's burning issues and the hottest news here on News Force.
Here are the headlines on News Force. Former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo to be transferred to the Veterans Memorial Medical Center and is expected to occupy the room once used by ERAP. Arroyo spokesperson Elena Bautista Horn speaks out on alleged plot put little girls to sleep of the Aquino administration against Pampanga Representative Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Budget Secretary Florencio Abad Young's statement of alleged plot at Horn, saying he should seek a psychiatrist. Arroyo camp wants to bring their cases to the International Court to ensure that the verdict will be unbiased. Department of Labor and Employment announces new policy